Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stephen Breach coming to you here today. This is going to be a big, huge edition of Monday Night Raw. Last week, I can easily say that WWE saved WrestleMania 32. It's not that we all thought that WrestleMania 32 was going to be horrible, but definitely with the return of Shane McMahon and then, just bam, right into your face. As it's sort of sinking in that Shane McMahon is coming into WWE and they are building a new storyline. Basically where it's going to be Shane versus Vince, to see who's going to be running WWE because Shane says that he believes Triple H and Stephanie have not been running the WWE the correct way. Basically saying the stock is down, the ratings is down. They don't have a good roster right now because of injuries to the superstars. He's not taking care of the superstars. WWE is not being run right, and he wants to run it now. Vince basically says to Shane that, you're going to have to do something for me. You're going to have a match, and you're going to have to win that match. And I think everybody knew at that point it was going to be a match at WrestleMania, but I think people were thinking in the back of their mind maybe they would pull some wild card and it would be Shane against Stephanie. There was lots of talks about Stephanie having a match at WrestleMania this year, maybe against Ronda Rousey or against another members of the Divas. She really did knock it out of the park at SummerSlam a few years ago, going up against Brie Bella. I think that, to me, I was looking forward to John Cena going up against Brock Lesnar for the championship, but I think I was really looking forward to Stephanie versus Brie more than anything else on that show, and it was one of the reasons why I was really glad that I went to that show as well. But I thought maybe they would do Vince versus Shane, a rematch of WrestleMania 17, those guys beating the hell out of each other with Mick Foley as the special guest referee, and Trish Stratus wheeling around Linda McMahon in the wheelchair, and all sorts of things like that. But they ended up going with the wild card. I don't think anybody thought that Shane McMahon was going to be the guy that fought Undertaker, and then especially, fighting Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell. I mean, that's going to be a really big deal. We have the match set, and immediately the thought that ran through my mind was, why is Undertaker going to accept this match? I mean, basically, yes, Vince is the promoter, and he is the talent, and at the end of the day, the talent has to do what the promoter says, and they might not like it, but that's their job, and they got to go out there and do it. But this is the world of professional wrestling, and for everybody to want somebody to do something for them, they want that person to do something for them as well. And I think that tomorrow, with Undertaker appearing on Raw, we're going to see Vince McMahon do what Vince McMahon does best, and that is basically play the devil. The Undertaker might play the dead man, but Vince is really the devil, and I think that's really what he comes off as, and he needs to come up and he needs to make a deal with Undertaker to figure out why Undertaker would want to fight Shane McMahon. People have dug up dirt, and I guess you can say that throughout the Attitude Era, Shane and the Undertaker were either on different sides or next to each other during the whole corporate ministry deal. They had their scuffles and things like that along the way. But to me, honestly, when I think of the rivals of Shane McMahon, I don't really think of The Undertaker. When I think of Undertaker's rivalries, I don't really think of Shane. They might have been working there at the same time, but I just don't think of them really doing anything. I think of Shane having more heat with Kane more than anything else. But I think this was during a time when I wasn't watching wrestling. I've seen the match. I've seen the build-up, but I don't really know what the storyline was for Kane versus Shane. Kane, shocking his nuts and stuff like that. But, tomorrow, I think we're going to see the big... I wouldn't be surprised if Undertaker comes out first to start up the show right there at 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever time it is in your time zone. And, we get the showdown, and we get another 30-minute segment to figuring out what WrestleMania 32 is going to be all about. I mean, these storylines all really do come together, and they are going to be really, really big. So, Undertaker being on Raw is going to be huge. We should be getting some answers. Maybe even leaving us with some questions. I mean, WWE, when they have their writers come up with something that actually is really good like this and knocks it out of the park, sometimes they fall on their face in a week or maybe even 2 weeks because they can start a storyline. It's continuing a storyline is the problem. I think one of the pluses was that they didn't really talk about this or, use Vince, Shane, or anybody on SmackDown. I mean, a lot of times when you do mid-card feuds, they get killed because of the fact that you don't really know how to make this go twice a week. Once a week, you can build the storyline for it, but when you're just shooting through things as fast as you can because you've got Dolph Ziggler or Kevin Owens or, Chris Jericho and AJ Styles, it's easy to blow through those. But Undertaker on Raw, gonna be huge.